I only have a gallon, okay?
What's the score, Coach?
7-3.
7-3. Down by 4. You got them where you want them, ladies. Let's go.
Oh, that tastes awful.
Hey, 4 points is nothing.
Yeah, because of the pasta.
Come on, Amy, you just don't push all the way. Going bad way.
Get deeper than her. Get deeper than her. Megan, get deeper than her. Get deeper than her.
Get it moving, Shannon. Cut it, Amy.
Go, girls.
If you're on the live stream right now, welcome to the junior women's semifinal between OverDrive from Toronto and MOFO from Winnipeg. On the camera right now is Jack McDonald. You're joining us with a score of 7-3 with OverDrive in the lead. And this semifinal, of course, being a semifinal, will decide who goes into the finals. We don't know what the score of the other semi is, which is on the field next to us. We're glad you could join us here at CUC 2012, broadcasting live from Victoria, BC. Beautiful facility here. We're just getting set up on our stream right now, so we'll still be adjusting some volume levels and things like that. If you have any questions or comments, we'll throw up our address later on so you know where to contact us. And at the same time, we hope you enjoyed the stream. We have 2 games coming up for you after this today. We have the Junior Open Finals for the first time ever, and the Junior Women's Final as well. We'll unfortunately be missing the Masters Final as it's happening at the same time as Junior Women's, but that won't happen in future years because we will actually have the Junior Women's and Junior Opens happening before the overall tournament. Anyways, it's been a little bit of a back and forth game here, and we'll have some comments on the actual, what we've observed here. Most of the IM Ultimate crew has been here. Rahil's been here. He's actually still playing right now. Jack's doing camera work. He normally plays for Grand Trunk with Rahil, but he's taken an injury. I normally am playing as well, but someone's got to do the stream, and I was playing with Too Bad at this tournament. And you'll be hearing a lot of yelling and screaming, and we hope that camera noise, or that noise does come in a little bit to you. Now, that was a nice bail hack there. We don't have numbers or anything like that right now. We've just had the live stream set up. We'll go out and get all that information quite soon. Great movement right now, though, by the ladies from Toronto. Actually, I think I should be saying girls. We are, I believe, we're under 17 here, right, Jack? And Jack says mostly. The rules are interesting. Of course, we're always thinking about the U23s as well. And we should note that not all the players that we would normally have here for the juniors division are here because many of them are actually in overseas for the World Junior Ultimate Championships, where Canada took bronze in the open division. And we'll come back to other results there as well. Now, there's not enough can be said for how much and how well these ladies play defense. They're really keyed in, they're fast, they're evenly matched, and they're taking the lines. They're absolutely attacking. Now in blue, in case you're just watching the live stream and haven't tuned in because we haven't put up the scorecards yet, In blue is MOFO, and in white is OverDrive. Plenty of coaches here. We've got a little area staked out, so we should be able to get a pretty good sideline view throughout the tournament and these games. Foul call there on the flick break. Coach from the sideline for MOFO saying that break was too easy, so we should see an adjustment by the ladies there to actually to prevent that in the future. But no break calls being called from the sideline now. And there's no cuts right now, and just a big bail going out. It appears to be a contested down, or perhaps not. So it's not a contested. It starts up right there. Great patience for all the players just to simply set up and go. Being called in for the in-cuts. In-cuts are being are hard between, but a big throw to the end zone, and it's just going to be floating a little bit out of bounds. The wind coming from the far side of the field towards us, so the wind will tend to push the disc out of bounds. And towards this side. We should see lots of pickups from this side. We're seeing a lot of good traps. Zone was played earlier in the game, but not right now. They've just not been able to transition to it as effectively. And these ladies are learning. They will be getting better as we go along. Well, one comment I've made before, and I was discussing with Jack, was that the ladies don't tend to throw low. They tend to throw high, and the wind catches it at that point. And that has caused a lot of issues for them. A little bit of an injury right now. Coach Carla DeFilippo going up there. Sorry, I said that a bit quickly, but Carla DeFilippo. That injury there was a little bit of a collision. But you can see how gassed the ladies are. If Jack pans across the field, you'll see the other ladies just taking a break there. It's been a long point, a very long point. And they're definitely starting to get gassed on this one. If OverDrive does score, that should take it to half. MOFO has a long way to go in order to get to that point. That is if our score has been correct. We've been told these scores by the other juniors. Right now we've got Junior Open MOFO warming up right behind us. And they're going to be playing against Hydro. And both these teams looking pretty good, pretty set to go. Hydro from Quebec, MOFO from Winnipeg, coming up next in the Open Finals. Great upline cut there. A bit of clogging upfield though, but there's a reset handler again coming in. It's going up line, but it's going to be, lots of pressure, good pressure. We're now looking at, again, good movement up the field, and a big break Huck. We'll see if she can chase it down. Almost. She had a hand on it. She just wasn't prepared in time. If she'd looked a second earlier, that would have been half for OverDrive. End zone called here. Setting up in a vertical stack, but there is a poach outside, attempting to be an ISO. He almost got a handle on it, looking for the break, but the stack just didn't cut on time. Lots of resets available though. Big floater goes out and leading too far up the line. These ladies have the skills, they just don't have the touch quite yet. Crossfield pass there, went through 2 offense before being picked up, or cleaned up really. This one looks like it's drifting OB again. The wind just pulling that out, or pushing it slowly bit by bit. Now, if you are listening in on the live stream, we thank you again for joining us. Drop in the midfield there by OverDrive. We'll have some contact details on how you can get in touch with us and and just basically talk to us while the stream is going and providing feedback. Thanks to James Maynard. Yeah, we'll call them young ladies. I think we'll start off with that, then we'll go from there. We do want to have a distinction, though. Pick called on the field. We know we have quite a few members from, or viewers from Winnipeg who will be coming online soon to watch the Open finals. We hope you're enjoying this semifinal as well. This is simply getting set up and ready to go. Please, please, please tell everyone about the stream right now. The more we can get people watching, the better. This game will be, this half of this game will be on YouTube later on, and so we should be able to actually get some more feedback there. There was a pick call. There's going to be a little bit of chat right now. Ellen Crawford, one of the observers, she's been an observer for quite some time, and there's going to be a little bit of chat about whether the disc goes back or not, and there's going to be a little bit of discussion. When was the pick called? Was the disc in the air? Jack McDonald, our cameraman, goofing off a little bit right now, checking his phone for messages, but not much action happening on the field. So let's give you some contact details very, very quickly. So you can email us at live@imultimate.com, or on the Twitter, we're at imultimate. If you email us, we'll do our best to actually, return details. Now we're looking at action. It looks like the disc stays. It was a bit of a complicated call to make, and a very late pass there. Unfortunately, the ladies are still learning in many cases when to cut, the speed of actually who's cutting against them as well. Plus, it is a semifinals game. These ladies have played 2 hard days of Ultimate already. Puck goes up, it's hanging. Oh, and close, very close. They're definitely tracking it in a good battle there under the disc. A laser down the line, but it's floating a little bit. Unfortunately, goes to ground. So lots of action here, right across the fields. Another big puck goes up, and it's going to float again. Caught right at the opposing brick mark. And again, looking for lots of cuts. We're looking for a big break here as well, if it's open. A great handler movement up the line, and that was a risky throw, though, if I might say. There was definitely a battle underneath for it, and while the receiver did get her hands to it, there was a lot of pressure. Equal blame should be proportioned there. However, great effort by both sides and great D. Now, in case you want to know where to find the stream, or you want to let your friends know again, in case you've forgotten, live.imultimate.com. We will be here for probably 3-4 more hours. We have 2 finals following this, the Junior Women and Junior Open. Junior Open first. The winner of this match will head into the final, the Junior Women Finals. Pick called there. The disc will come back. Observers right here on the sideline. Observers have been doing a great job, and of course they're always volunteers, so we thank them for coming out and helping with the calls and assisting. I think in this game it is particularly useful to have observers just helping with rules. But as Jack and I noticed, there's very little conversation compared to higher levels, where we tend to argue a little bit more about our calls, whereas here there seems to be just a lot of it goes back, or yeah, I agree, were you close enough doesn't really matter on a pick call. It was, there's a lot of trust. That's nice to see. as Jack says, very young, innocent, and honest. And that's definitely true, but I think a lot also has to be said for their coaches. Their coaches have done a great job in educating them. Both these teams come from great ultimate cultures. I was chatting with Corey Draper, I believe, from Mods a little while ago. He's playing on Winnipeg Flood, and he was also the TD for that 2009 in Winnipeg match. And they've apparently just broken 4,000 members this year, which is fantastic. They are definitely one of the biggest ultimate centers in Canada. Score there by MOFO. I believe that that makes it 7-4. Jack tells me, yes, it is 7-4. So for the first time in this stream, let's show you. No, Jack. Jack just asked me if I could see it on the other side. No, Jack, I'm old. I'm very old. My eyes are terrible. However, I can still legally, with my eyesight, drive and fly an airplane. But most importantly, I can drive a scooter. In case you haven't been out here to Victoria before, it's absolutely beautiful. I cannot say enough about how pretty it is out here. And I rented a scooter for the first few days just so I could jet around town and get to my fields and my games. And yeah, it's been incredible. It was fast to get back and forth, so for 3 days I was just zooming around. And got to see a lot of games. I've basically been able to watch every division play and important games on every division. And although there are 3 field locations, with a vehicle, it's incredibly easy to get around. The city itself is beautiful. I've only been in the urban areas, but they have parks everywhere with hills. And coming from the relative flatlands of Ontario, I always love visiting mountainous areas, especially hilly areas. Anyways, we're back into this game now, 7-4. OverDrive still lead. We had a very long point last time around, but we should at some point do some sort of timing to see how long these points run in the various divisions. I suspect that here in the juniors division it runs for quite some time. We've seen that everywhere. There's just a propensity for turnovers. They're younger teams, and that just happens. Hand block there on the break attempt. OverDrive can take half here in this red zone. They've had trouble with this before, though. Attempt at the upline cut there. And now the handler's going to go up again. Is there pressure on it? And pressure, but caught. 8-4, I believe that makes it. And I guess we're heading into halftime now. Now we just, as we go into halftime, we have been fortunate enough to be running a contest, and that contest has been sponsored by Ulticards. And if you haven't seen Ulticards, we're going to show you a short promo right now, and we're going to talk a little bit about the contest. But thank you very much to Ulticards for sponsoring our little contest.
When I first met my father, I didn't have a clue. The first words that he told me were the last ones that were true. He said this desert's made for walking, and there's nothing you can do except go on.
So we're back coming out of halftime. I apologize if that was a bit loud. We are going to adjust the volume on that. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. It's the first time we've run that ad. And on a live stream. So thank you to Ulticards for running that ad. Not running that, but sponsoring the contest. You can see the contest details on your screen right now. It's contest.iamultimate.com. It'll take you to a Google spreadsheet form, or a form. Just fill that out. Predict who's going to win the open, women's, and mixed finals tomorrow. The order of those finals will be open, mixed, women's. And also to break break ties, the scores. And if there's still a tie, then whoever submitted first will win. And the winner will receive a deck of cards from Ulti Cards. Now, if you've not used them before, they're great training tools. They're great just for trying out and concentrating on any particular thing in training. With the level of the game going to where it is incredibly important that we train. The juniors programs are part of that. The juniors programs are all about training and training early. It's no longer enough to just be able to play Ultimate or get people to know basic disc skills. We need to get the players to the level where they can become excellent players all around, can understand complex strategy. And the best way to do that is to work on fundamentals and to also just keep consistently training. So ulticards.net is part of that. There's many places where you can learn online, but this is one of them, and a rather good one. So if you're interested, again, the contest details are on the screen. We'll be showing that several times. So please try to get your entries in before tomorrow morning, and we'll keep updating throughout the day with the scores. If you have ideas for contests as well, please let us know. We'll keep running them. Ulticards has donated to us. We, of course, don't really want to go beyond that at this point because there's a lot of effort. But for next CUC, next broadcast, everything like that, we do want to have more contests for our viewers. So while Jack takes a break from all the camera work, I'm just going to keep talking and fill up some time here. It's been a long few days, as any nationals is, but the weather here has been pretty nice. It's been, from what I've been told, it's been the hottest few days Victoria gets, and apparently this time of the year, Victoria is hot for 4 days, and then is just mild. And Jack laughs, but it's true. I think we had 3 days where it got up to maybe 27, 28. With sunny, not a cloud in the sky. And then today, right now, it's probably around 22, 23, but it's cloudy. So we've all got our jackets on. Yeah, and it's breezy, so it's quite cool, which is nice. Especially considering that we are now healing up from all our injuries and damage done to us by these fields. So let's talk about that half. Jack's going to talk to me. And I'm just going to talk really to you, those listening on the stream. What we've seen is a lot of drops in this game. We've seen, but that's part of the game. The drops haven't come from actually people dropping them or just being dropped. It's come from pressure, defensive pressure. And that defensive pressure has either forced the disc short and into the defender, or that has caused the thrower to throw it a bit too long. And that's caused issues as well. And Jack points out, again, I'm listening to Jack and you can't hear him at this time, but Jack has pointed out that they are making good cuts. There are excellent cuts. And part of the game at this level is learning how to throw. And the ladies just haven't developed a touch quite yet, but they are working on it. And you can see incredible skill across the board on every single player. They're making very good, sharp, hard cuts. If the disc came to them in 2-3 years, it will come to them. And it be well positioned. You are looking at you're looking basically right now at many lines of world-class handlers who will be in contention to go to U23, who will still be in contention to do U19. So lots and lots of great handlers and players out on the field right now. So we have multiple teams right now wandering around the field, and we have their coaches going along with them. It's a great atmosphere here as we get underway for the second half. Thank you to all again who are messaging us. We are basically looking to have a conversation. And there will be some pauses here until we get our dedicated commentators in sight. Apparently we have lucked out with the weather. Thanks again, James. We are expecting some showers today, but The TD has told me that the weather usually comes from the hills over where the camera's pointing right now. And if we don't see anything coming from that direction, then we've avoided it. We are looking west at this point, so north is to our right. And the wind is coming from the west, almost directly at the camera. And it is swirling a little bit, but that doesn't really matter at this point. Couple of turns there so far on that point. Just a little bit of overextension. These ladies have run quite hard the full tournament. And their fatigue is definitely a factor at this point. So in case you just tuned in, we have OverDrive in white and MOFO in blue. You can definitely see the fatigue as we were just discussing out there. Some ladies already a little bit bent over. And means, of course, defense might be a little bit easier, offense a little bit harder, as you still have to keep stepping out, still keep making sharp throws and making good Ds. Spirits are high though. That's the positive attitude that these ladies have is just incredible. On the line now, Ellen calls them out. And observers call them in. MOFO takes the first point of the second half. For those of you watching at home, thank you again for joining us. Please do share the stream. If you are watching on the iPhone, please let us know if that is working as well on Twitter or via email, live@imultimate.com, or on the Twitter feed, imultimate.com. Or sorry, not .com, but just imultimate. It's been a long week here for us. We are a bit tired as well. The Open Division starts today at 8:30, which is actually for us in the East a little bit later in the day. We are 3 hours different in terms of time. So it's almost a nice time to go and play, but it's still a matter of getting up and then going to bed even later. Starts to wear a little bit out of you, so getting in the habit of going to bed early is strange, especially when there's light out. MOFO Open just completing their warm-up run, getting ready to cheer on their ladies, but now concentrating on their game. They had been on the sideline for the first half. I'm sure that everyone appreciated their support. These players, the Open Division and the Women's, had been playing together in mixed up until last year. A little bit of a hospital pass there, but that is considered a little bit upwind, and the wind just took it and floated. Wind's changed direction again. It's now swirling back from the other direction. Just a fingertips miss there. And handler's not moving around as much anymore. There's definitely being gassed out here. It's still playing on. That throw on mark, but perhaps a little bit of a receiver error there. Jack, what do you think? No, he has no idea. He's concentrating on the game. He's concentrating on filming this. Great handler cuts there. The OverDrive is running an interesting play there where they set up a stack far away from the disc and then simply ISO a handler and then have another handler back prepared for the bail if needed. And this isolation play is great, especially with the stack so far away. Now, given the level this game is at and that the throws exactly haven't been on mark, MOFO could afford to actually poach off one player and shut down that ISO, play hard on the actual mark, and then that should actually take care of it. So OverDrive now with their first point of the second half. Leading now 9-5. Time is 14:55. Time is going to be a factor in this game. It has tended to be a factor in almost all of the junior women's games as well as the junior games. In fact, it's been a factor in mixed and women's as well. There haven't generally been long points in many other games. Hydro now, as you can see in the background, they're doing their quick warm-up jog. They were throwing earlier. They are prepped for a great game and a great finals here. The next final is going to feature a team from Winnipeg and a team from Quebec. I will try to speak some French, some Quebecois French on the stream, as we are anticipating some commentators that are able to assist that will be able to better explain and point out which players are home. Stuck deep in their zone right now, and getting pushed further back. OverDrive is coming out after that D, and unfortunately another fingertips drop. That one is interesting to see. We've had a few of those already in this game. Stuck on the sideline now. Upline pull, but three ladies converging. And it's a point. Great grab under pressure. Great grab under pressure there. And MOFO 2-1 in the second half now. But still behind. Line calls continuing for OverDrive. It's an important game for them. And apparently an OverDrive player has taken an injury as well and is on the far sideline. And they are now preparing to maintain. They need to go outscore yet again. They have a tight lock on this game right now. 20 seconds still pull, the observer has announced. There are two coaches, or multiple coaches for this team. A very young former player as well is assisting. Another handler cuts here are our primary, but there are poached players upfield. Bit of miscommunication on the defense there. And we have a quick point by OverDrive, which is very important in maintaining their legs and keeping that O-line fresh. That will pay dividends later on in the game, should this game actually get a little bit tighter. Demoralizing, Jack? Yeah, I think, however, I think there was a little bit of a defensive error there, but you're right. The MOFO sideline's gotten very quiet very quickly. They know that this game is now just a game of attrition and time. And with 10-6 and what, maybe 15 minutes left in this game, Jack? Maybe. We are, yeah, maybe even just 50 seconds left in this game. It'll be interesting to see whether the ladies can stay above water. This is one of those points where the OverDrive sideline, if you look around, is very loud. They're vocal, they're chatting loudly, whereas the MOFO sideline is a bit quieter. And this is indicative every time when this happens, this concern and frustration, depending on your team. It can be, you know, they're in their own heads, and it can be the end of the game mentally. Zone now, and this is a cup they're coming out with. But great movement by MOFO. This is great to see. And just a little bit stagnant now. Cup has melted. And just a throw just over in the middle. Ah, that's really tough to see. they had broken through. Anyways, back on offense now. OverDrive. Offense upfield is jogging though. There aren't any hard cuts. 4 handlers. And just there's a pick call, and it wasn't yelled loudly. That stall count should go way back. Away, hard away is called from the field. We are on the away side, Jack. We should get some disc movement in this direction. And once again, just a little bit of fingertips. It's going to be thrown short again. There's pressure on these discs, but the girls quite haven't gotten the snap yet to stabilize that. And a big strike there. And it's going to get, but still not. Still, unfortunately, the legs for the offense aren't there at this point. MOFO, great movement upfield, but there's a call further back. Now looking at, we haven't heard the horn yet. We expect it to go through. Oh, and a dump pass just a little bit too far and maybe a bit low. Great handler cuts, and observers calling them in. And that is a point. Observer was standing right on the line at that point in time. And OverDrive there with a break. Now up 3-2 in the second half. Overall score of 11-6. Many of the same ladies going right back onto offense. It was their O-line that was out previously. They are cycling a few of the players though. But we should expect to see a lot of these young ladies in the future playing in the women's division. Winnipeg, as always, has a very strong program, but these ladies are also going to move to university, many other places, and should overall strengthen our program out of Canada. The wind has settled down a little bit here. We have a flag far off in the distance. Okay, Jack tells me the wind's still up. If I look way off in the distance, there's a furniture store that the Nomads have been using as part of their parking lot. And the flag has been a little bit limp there. Over here at this end, it's gusty. I would say it starts up and then it slows down. And it's also a little bit inconsistent. And that's not helping the ladies at this point. Disc thrown over to ladies. Backhand force here to the away side. And a drop disc here that was just a little bit harder to catch. Great speed though on the cuts. Now a standard flick force here, and it's hucked. And lots of time in the end zone. Brings it down. Great read on that disc. There was a little bit of a stutter step there. She had to adjust, but then that wind caught the disc again and kept it going. It's very hard for these ladies to read at this point in time. So 11-7 now. MOFO going out, not letting another break. Now they need to get this break. If they get 2 breaks, they'll be mentally back in this game. And OverDrive might be out at that point. They are playing many of the same players again and again on OverDrive as well. What I'm going to be very interested in seeing, Jack, is the energy level in the finals. This is a long, hard tournament. So the wind now is sustained, and the flag way off in the distance is now pointing directly towards us. So a west wind. Previously it was a south wind, so swirling. Whereas the wind down here is strong, so we really can't say much for for the sustained direction. I don't think it'll affect the junior finals as much, but that'll remain to be seen. Fast count called. And a great poach D. Again, defense is excellent by both of these teams. And great speed, as you can see there in mid-cut. And two great cuts there and catches with just pinpoint passes. Another one, but they're working it up the line. They need to get a break here, or they need to jam it up the line into the end zone. Looking at the break. Unfortunately, just a little bit wide. Jack and I discussed earlier, and we also said it on the live stream, is that they don't throw from low to high to make it float back. They do tend to just be flat from the shoulder right across, which means that it doesn't float. In order to make it float, they end up going very high. Heads up D play there. You can probably hear it on the stream, but Quebec getting amped up for their game. I don't know if you saw it in the background, but great snag on the other field there on a defensive play and then a cross-field hammer. And the other women's semi that's going on right now. Back to this game, the call's been resolved. Upline cut, break throw now. Lots of space in the middle. We should have a few breaks here. And then if you just flip it across the field. Oh, and the cutter in the end zone just clogging up the play, not putting energy in. And I can't blame her. This has been at this point in the weekend, it can be tough. It can be tough. We're not doing much play-by-play here either, Jack, are we? No, mostly because we don't know the players' numbers. And we hope to know them in the future. Hopefully by the finals we'll have their numbers in place. But if later on YouTube and later on, you can, of course, point out who you want and take your clips of your favorite players. Pick called. There was a little bit of messiness on that other side. Two handlers coming in and lots of movement. Lots of observers out at many different games here. Great to see that as well, as that program is growing. Under pressure, great D there, but was there a call? No call, and she picks up the disc right away. Or nope, foul has been called. Ellen is indicating that from the far sideline. It is going to the observer. This is, I think, a good call by both sides. That was a very close play. I don't think we can fault either side for doing that. The observers are provided, and they are sending it back. I think that's a fair call. It was so close. Flipped into the end zone. Ladies on the disc, boxed out, and indeed.
Big D right now, ladies.
It's good to see that sort of positioning, but she was also at a height disadvantage. Big throw goes up, it's floating a little bit. Oh, unfortunately, just fades at the end. Horn goes. Is this hard cap here? If this is hard cap, OverDrive has a disc or has the game. Indeed, it might not be in OverDrive's interest at this point to run many of their A players for much longer, but they do get a break before the next game and they can recharge. They need to get this point for confidence going into the finals. MOFO playing great D right now. Great pressure, taking away the in cuts, taking away the deeps as well. And there's a contested, not contested or stall down. And another quick call there. A violation call. Thank you, Jack. I see. I think that'll be an interesting discussion there. So it appears that the other juniors women's semi has not yet finished. They might have one more point to go. Or they might have finished. We'll find out the result there shortly as well. Lots of ongoing discussion right now. It's good for the ladies to learn the rules. It's good that they're asking the observers. The observers are doing a great job of just explaining the rules, and that's an absolutely good use of them, especially when the observers are as patient as they have been here this weekend. Coming in on 8. And Huck goes up, should be caught. It is, great read there. Flips to the end zone, and that's in. And that should be game.
On the field, let's go, Seattle.
And congratulations to OverDrive for making the finals here with winning 12-7. Great effort by MOFO as well. This was a tough game, playing in difficult conditions. And there's going to be a little bit of discussion here as to what happened there in the middle of the field. But anyways, our great final, our semifinal there. We look forward to the juniors women's final, which will be coming up shortly in a couple hours. But first, we're going to have the junior open finals. And we'll find out who's going to go what color soon, because they both seem to be wearing pretty dark colors with relatively similar jerseys. Now, both of these teams, these women's teams, have another game to play. There are still medals to be won. OverDrive going to be going to the women's final soon. MOFO, I believe, if I'm not wrong, they do get another game, and they will be playing for third place. We don't know who they'll be playing against yet, but that'll be on the other field. But great game. So the first semi-live broadcast from CUC 2012 is with the junior women's division. Now, if you've just joined us for the stream and you are getting ready to watch the junior open final, well, you've come to the right place. We are going to have the junior opens playing next. And I'm just going to be updating the scoreboard as we wait. But while we wait, of course, I'll give you a little bit of contact info where you can also contact us and chat with us.
field, Stormy.
Have you seen my?
You have two white ones or something.
As always, we'd like to thank our sponsors for this tournament, and also Ultimate Canada is VC Ultimate, providing us with tournament swag here and gear. We've got Q Energy, who've given also each of the players here a small packet that we basically have energy drink mix. That's been rather good, especially with the heat here the last few days. Caribou did all the brand development, so if when you go to the CUC 2012 website, you will see all the imagery and the typeface selection done by Caribou, and of course Discraft. It goes without any saying, but Discraft, one of the primary sponsors here also at the tournament. And of course, if we may say, you know, here Ultimate Canada also big part, of course, of this tournament, given it is their tournament. But a very important sponsor as well. In fact, you'll see quite a few Ultimate Canada, not only board members helping out here, but also running around doing a few of the major duties and tasks needed here. And of course, thanks to I Am Ultimate, that's me and Jack, and it's just a group of us that like to do and help here and there. And we feel like sharing, I guess. That's the best way to put it. It sounds like I'm a little bit tired. I am a little bit tired at this point. It's been a long few days. And David Haller also joining me here. Dave from Winnipeg initially, but now from the island and soon other places as well, but longtime friend of mine. So a lot of longtime friends of mine, really, just here helping out on the other side of the country from where we originally met with the stream. Now, if you are just joining in here to watch this match, please be sure to visit contest.iamultimate.com for your chance to win a deck of Ulti cards. Please get your entries in before tomorrow morning, and that would be Pacific Standard Time. I think we're in Pacific Standard Time, right? Yeah. So for those of you on the East Coast or Eastern Time, you will have until about noon or just 12:30 tomorrow to get your entries in, and so forth. We want to get your entries in before the first, before basically the game starts. And thank you to Ulti Cards for donating the cards for this contest. If you have not seen Ulti Cards yet, here's a quick short promo for what they do.
Yeah, buddy.
Get there, Alan.
Get there, Alan.
When I first met my father, I didn't have a clue. The first words that he told me were the last ones that were true. He said this desert's made for walking, and there's nothing you can do except go on, on.
And we're back. Sorry about that short delay in starting that video. We got that promo last night from one of the Alti Cards folks, and it was throwing it together. But we're kind of glad with the way it's coming together. Thank you for everyone who's entered the contest at this point. We are very excited now for this next final, the Junior Open Final. First time ever that the. Pardon me, Jack? Yeah, and actually, if you're watching at home, which you should be right now, Jack's pointed out that the bronze medal game is going to be going on in the background. So for the first time ever at CUC, we will be having an open junior match. And we're going to be looking at MOFO from Winnipeg, one of the areas of amazing development in the country, playing against Quebec.